You ever see a hospital room turn from pure joy to ice-cold silence in less than a minute? Let me tell you, the day I gave birth to my twins, I found out just how fast everything you think you know about love, family, and forgiveness can get turned inside out. The delivery room was glowing, beeping machines, nurses moving about, the kind of soft chaos that makes you think life is a miracle until the miracle looks you in the eye and asks if you're sure you're ready for it. I was holding two newborns in my arms, one with soft peach skin and wispy brown hair nuzzling close, the other with skin a warm coffee brown, curls tight, and perfect, both of them mine, and both of them a mystery even to me in that moment. My husband, Ryan, just stood at the end of the bed, hands over his mouth like he'd walked into the wrong life. His eyes kept darting from one baby to the other, trying to do the math, trying to force the world to make sense with sheer willpower. He finally took a shaky breath and said, almost whispering, "That one's mine, but who's the father of the other?" The word just sat there, heavy and ugly, squeezing the air out of the room. Even the nurse stopped and stared, like we'd just become someone else's soap opera. I wanted to disappear, to pull the covers over my head, and wake up in a world where people only have to face the consequences of their choices when they're ready. But I wasn't ready. I wanted to say, "Ryan, please, just hold them, just look at them," but he wouldn't. He was shaking, hurt written all over his face. "You were pregnant with twins and never told me," he said. "You never said anything, Julia. They're not even the same race." He kept staring at my son, the one who didn't look like him at all. I could hear my own voice trembling. "We didn't even know we were having twins till the second scan, Ryan. I thought it was your baby." I didn't. But how do you explain that science sometimes writes stories nobody ever wants to read? Months ago, after one too many arguments, Ryan and I had separated for almost a month. We called it space, but really it was a kind of quiet war. In that empty space, I turned to David, an old friend, someone who'd always understood the messy sides of me. One night, just one, and I thought nothing would come of it. I kept telling myself the twins had to be Ryan's, until all those doctor visits and genetic tests started raising red flags I couldn't ignore. Ever hear of heteropaternal superfecundation? Yeah, I hadn't either, not till the OBGYN told me, dead serious, that my babies had two different fathers. You think you're prepared for surprises, but not that kind. So there I was, staring down a truth nobody prepares you for, Ryan's words bouncing off the sterile hospital walls. "So you cheated on me," he said, his voice flat, hollow. We were on a break. I wanted to shout, but that just sounded like a joke from a sitcom. "Ryan, I didn't know. I tried," but he just looked away, eyes glassy. "The white one is mine," he finally said, "but I don't know who that boy belongs to." He left the room, just turned and walked out, and the silence that followed was colder than the AC. I didn't cry right away. I just sat there, clutching both babies, feeling a love so fierce it hurt, and a fear so deep it felt like drowning. The nurses whispered. The lights seemed harsher, and I kept thinking, how do you break your own life and still move forward? Days passed in a blur of hospital routines, my world reduced to the rocking chair by the window. I couldn't go home, yet he wasn't ready for the looks, the questions, the feeling that somehow I was a walking cautionary tale. My sister, Emma, was the only one who showed up, carrying an envelope. "Ryan sent these," she said quietly, "DNA results, like I needed more proof. 2 tests, 2 fathers, 1 family that felt like it was being ripped in half." Ryan never came back. He sent a lawyer, instead wanted sole custody of his biological daughter, wanted no part of the boy. The words on the paper hurt, but the look on the lawyer's face hurt worse, like I'd become less of a mother, less of a woman. That night, I sat in the dark holding both babies, whispering apologies they couldn't possibly understand, promising I'd love them both the same, no matter what anyone else thought. A week later, mediation day. Ryan was there, clean-shaven, looking like a man, try hard not to feel anything. He barely looked at me, just stared at the photo. I brought both twins swaddled together, side by side. "I know I messed up," I said, "but please don't punish her for my mistake." He didn't answer, just kept his eyes on the table. Finally, he said, "Don't contact me unless it's about her," then signed the agreement and left. I got full custody of both, with visits only for his daughter. He wanted his daughter's name changed, wanted his son erased from any records that connected him to his family. For a while, the gossip was everywhere. People whispered at the grocery store, in the pickup line at preschool two dads. Can you believe it? Some said I was brave. Most just pitied me, but none of them saw the quiet moments at home, the long nights with both babies clinging to me as I read stories and sang lullabies and tried to make a home out of what was left. Years passed. My kids grew up side by side, a girl with auburn hair and a firecracker laugh, a boy with gentle eyes and a stubborn streak. They never felt different because I made damn sure they knew they belonged. I worked double shifts, went back to school at night, made birthdays and holidays count double. When my son was old enough to ask, "Why don't I look like Dad?" I told him the truth softly, but honestly. You have a different father, but you both have the same mother, and I will never love one of you more than the other. He didn't cry, he just nodded, then hugged me tighter than he ever had. Did I fix everything? No. I lost the man I loved, lost friends, lost the life I thought I'd have, but I found something tougher, something worth more. The courage to face the truth and the strength to raise two kids in a world that doesn't always understand or forgive or know how to mind its own business. So let me ask you, is forgiveness something we owe to others or to ourselves? Does a child ever deserve to pay the price for a grown-up's mistakes? You tell me. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If this story hit home for you, or if you've ever had to stand your ground for the people you love, let's talk about it. Drop a comment, share your story, and remember, kindness is a choice. Family is what you make it, and sometimes the only way out is through.